Hey guys, thank you so much and welcome to the Game Your Future podcast. I'm Daniel and I'm here with a special guest, Masao. Masao is here today and he has turned his hobby for woodworking into a video game and anime themed woodworking commissions that he does for people. So fantastic, cool little thing that using his video games passion to do something that's really just helping him, helping the world. It's so cool. So thank you so much, Masao, and welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. So tell us how I guess how you got into this the woodworking using video game themed and anime I guess projects. Like how did that start and how did that work?
Well, the funny thing is, it was actually at a pretty low point in my life when I was in the clinic, and we had to do like this day hab, so we had to go there, and you can choose between either coloring all day or do woodworking. So I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna do woodworking. So I started working on things, especially around Final Fantasy XIV, because my girlfriend was really into that. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'll go make something for her. And actually, I really started to like it, and I was like, oh, this is actually a really fun thing to do, and I just kind of kept doing it.
That's fantastic. So I guess the real question that I have is that and a lot of gamers in my audience really have is like how can we take our passion for video games and actually turn it into something that maybe we can make even an income on. And as far as even just starting out, like I know, yeah, you're looking to grow and change and earn more as part of this, but like some people just don't even know where to get started. And I guess what would you say to those kind of people that are like, I love video games, but I don't know what to do with it?
Well, I would say like what I did at least is I started kind of asking around like, hey, how could I, use my woodworking for like other things, like maybe doing commissions or maybe like standing at places like conventions where you can sell your own stuff, for example. And that's kind of what I started doing. And I started with Twitch, which I just started on, so everything is like very small and very new. um, but I just kind of went from there and just kind of, yeah, just started out very small and like started to grow. And hopefully I'll be growing more. And yeah, it's actually been going really well.
That's fantastic. So that yeah, I know everybody start small, and that's something I think a lot of people miss, right? And wanted to get your thoughts on as far as because I think in gaming we understand that is that you
Mhm.
start on level one and you have
Yes.
to progress, right?
Yeah, you have to grind a lot.
Yep, exactly. And then, but when we get out into the rest of the world, it's how do we like I want to be better, I want to be perfect, or I thought I'd be further along than I am. We kind of tell ourselves these kind of things, but it's like
Mhm.
you still got to go through the levels, right? It's you
Yeah,
don't just
yeah.
level skip, right?
No, you can't use a cheat code and just go to the end. No, no, you can't.
Exactly right. So I think one of the key things about that is just understanding that it does take time, right? And I think we get kind of what's the word? Kind of spoiled, I guess maybe is the word is within video games because everything happens in a game in a much shorter time,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so I wanted to hear kind of like your journey as far as that so far as far as kind of doing that growth, right? And knowing and I guess yeah, have you gotten to the point where you know that it's going to take a little bit more time, right? And it's like something that you can't rush.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I know sometimes it's like, oh man, I wish I had like way more people and way more commissions, but it's just not gonna happen because if you rush it, then you're gonna only burn out yourself, and then you're gonna be back to level one, as to say.
Yep, that's right. You never get off level one, and you have to keep
Yeah,
trying, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. And yeah, because I had a friend had very interesting take on it. Is also a gamer. That life kind of feels like you're playing on, you're playing on a hardcore setting. So there's no reloads, there's no resets, and you play it on the slowest speed possible. You play it in real time.
That's actually a
And
pretty good way to say it. Yeah.
yeah, and so like when I thought about that, I was like, holy crap, he's right. Because it's if we treated life more like a game, right? we'd have more fun with it, but B, we would understand that things take time, right? You can't just set it to times 10 speed and be like, all right, let's get this going. It's like, no, you got to sit there and wait, and instead of waiting, you can do a little bit more to kind of help
Yeah.
yourself and move yourself forward, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like when your parents start to talk to you and you're like, this cutscene cannot be skipped.
Yeah, you can't skip the parent cutscenes.
No, you can't.
I haven't heard that one. That's fantastic. Good.
No, but it is true though. It's like it does take time, and yeah, it's kind of like you have to take your time and make sure just stay true to yourself and not try to be like others that are successful because they also tried hard to build what they have.
And you bring up an interesting point because I think there's a lot of people out there that want to try to do that. They want to do something that's either their own unique thing, but a lot of them also think, well, this person's successful, right? Like maybe Masao is successful, or they look at some of these big YouTubers and big streamers and like, wow, they're really successful. I'll just do what they did, right? They'll
Yeah.
just copy them, right?
Yeah, and I think that that's the wrong way to go about it because then you're copying someone else's style who also worked hard to do what they have. And it's yeah, it feels kind of yeah, it doesn't feel good in my opinion.
I agree. And it's one of those things too where I think for especially when you do something with the video, like whether it is YouTube or Twitch, I think people see that, right? Like they have that connection with you on the screen and they can kind of tell, right? People are smart. People are intuitive
Mhm.
and they'll see through, especially gamers, we can see through the bullshit. And you can see it's like, well, that's not really who you are. Like you're just trying to copy somebody else. That's not you. That's not authentic. Right.
Yeah, no, I agree because I think if you kind of put up that face of like, oh yeah, look, I'm this amazing guy and like I'm always happy, and in the meantime, when you turn the camera off and you get sad, depressing on the couch, like no, it doesn't work.
Yeah. It only works for so long and it's not very long.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly.
That's great. Yeah, because I remember I did a little bit of Twitch back in the day too, and that was mostly a time constraint issue, right? When I was still working my corporate job,
Mhm.
and it would like, come home and be like, all right, time to stream because that's what I, put on myself. And like it eventually just got to the point where yeah, it wasn't working well enough with me. It's like, all right, I have my work and then I have the streaming and then I have like, and I'm trying to take care of my personal life with like, my fiance, my wife at the time too. And I'm just like, I just can't do all this. Right. And so I eventually had to drop it. So then coming out of the corporate world, I'm like, okay, now I can focus more on the gamers again. So it's been so much more entertaining, interesting doing this now.
Yeah, no, I think that is very good because like yeah, like if it's something that you have to force yourself to, then it feels like oh, it's a second job and like oh man, I have to stream again and oh here we go, hi everybody, like yeah, it doesn't work.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to want to do it. Right.
Yeah,
That was the key thing. Like if you're in the stream, like whatever you do, and this I think this is just great advice for life. It's just whatever you're doing, if you're doing it for the money, you're not going to do it for very long, or you're not going to be happy about it in the long
no,
run.
absolutely not. No.
And that's something I think myself, it took me a long time to realize, right? Because I worked a corporate job, like I said, for like 15 years. And I did that because I made decent money. And the money kind of helps drag that out, I guess, in a way
Yeah,
where it's just like, all right, well, I'm sitting very very well, and I'm earning a lot, and then it's like it just kind of slowly wears on you, right? And I'll say this for anybody that like you go into and things change. I guess that's the other kind of advice here is that things can change because when I first started, uh, it looked like it was everything I wanted, right? Because yeah, I went to a school for like as an MBA doing supply chain and logistics. So I got a job in supply chain. So I was like, okay, that matches. Great. I'm using my degree. And then I was working for a company that had Japanese suppliers. And I
okay.
actually, yeah, I love gaming ever since I was a kid. And I started having that interest in Japan and then eventually anime because of games, because I found out at some point, playing like the older Final Fantasy games, like my favorite, like Final Fantasy 4 and 6 are some of my
Ooh.
favorites, and Chrono Trigger, and I'm like, wow, these are all. amazing games by this company called Squaresoft at the time. I'm like, where is Squaresoft? Oh, they're a Japanese company. Maybe there's something to this Japan thing. Let me check this out. So I ended up living over there for like 2 years, right? Did
Oh,
like the
really?
study abroad thing and then went back over there for another year. And so like I lived in Japan for 2 years. And then I came back and then I was like, well, I guess I got to go to school, right? I kind of got on that autopilot track of like, all right, I got to go to school and got to get a good job, got to do all this. And the job, when I interviewed for them, they're like, hey, we work with Japanese suppliers. I'm like, aha, this will be interesting and fun. I get to use this kind of Japanese knowledge and culture and language that I have. And they're like, yeah, we have yeah, Japanese suppliers. There's like two main ones we have. One's like way up in Akita, Japan, like near Hokkaido, right? And then there's one in Tokyo. Well, it's not in Tokyo. It's in this little suburb of Tokyo called Mitaka. And they're like, you probably don't know where that is. And I told them, I know exactly where that is because that's where I went to school for a year. So it was almost like the universe saying, like, ah, this is working. Like you should go
Yeah.
here. So I was like, this is fantastic. And I got to work with the Japanese suppliers. And it was super fun. And then over the years, things change, right? I still got to work with those suppliers. That was the one thing I was unwilling to give up. They're like, hey, we can work you into this like other promotion, kind of track or whatever. Like if you want to be like a manager, like, go on the corporate career ladder track. The fast track is like you got to go to like all these different positions. Be like, all right, you're trained in supply chain, great, but we're going to put you in sales and then product development and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but I joined for the Japanese suppliers. That's what I enjoy, and that's why I'm here. And so I held on to those. I was like, no, I'm not giving this up. And then unfortunately, that means you got to get passed up for promotion sometimes. It's like, well, other people are doing the rotation thing and you're not. Okay. And then eventually, the way corporate America goes, it's like, well, we're not doing as well, so we're going to have layoffs. I was always in a great position working with the Japanese suppliers. It was such a tight connection, they wouldn't let me go. Great. But that meant that my coworkers got left out in the dust and they're like, hey, they had like three or four suppliers. They're yours now. I'm like, so do more with less. I'm like, oh. So eventually it just got more and more. And they're like, hey, travel is like kind of expensive. So instead of going to Japan like 4 times a year, you're only going to go like twice a year and then only once a year. And then finally it was like about every other year, maybe we'll go to Japan. I'm like, what? The whole reason I'm here is to help with this. And they just slowly were taking that away from me and just like replacing it anyway. And then it just got to be soul crushing. And then finally I was like, nope. And I'll say, and frankly, I didn't quit, but I kind of forced them to get rid of me. I did kind of the quiet quitting thing. So it was like, hey, you're out of here,
Okay.
move along.
Well,
But, but go ahead.
oh, oh, sorry. I was gonna say like it's actually funny that you say that because it's also a big dream of mine to go to Japan because of games and anime. Um, and my favorite Final Fantasy VII. So you kind of hurt me that you say that six and what did you say, four?
4.
Yeah,
I'm from
those are your
the
favorites.
Super Nintendo generation. So that's what,
Yeah.
oh, I love 7 too. Don't get me wrong. But
Okay, good. Then we
so it's,
can be friends.
there you go. Perfect. Oh my gosh. It's hard to rank them too. Like for those that enjoy Final Fantasy, right? Where would you put them in so being more of an old school for the Super Nintendo guy, like I would put 6 at the top and then
Yeah,
probably 7 second.
yeah. For me, it's seven at the top.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And no, I completely understand. It's absolutely a phenomenal one. And yeah, so that I know those in the comments too will have that debate as well, but
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Super Nintendo though, 6. Now, if you want to get really interesting, the best game of all time is Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I can pretty much agree with you on that one.
And I'm gonna get a lot of hate in the comments for that too, because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh no, Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda." I'm like, "Yeah, that's good, but it ain't no Chrono Trigger." And I know that's gonna piss
Uh,
a lot of people off too.
yeah, Chrono Trigger was kind of revolutionary at the time.
Oh,
Like with
absolutely,
how
everything
many,
about that game was phenomenal.
how
That was
many?
like the dream team of design of like game design at the time too. Like the Final
Yeah,
Fantasy designers and composer and like when you realize who worked on the game and who worked on the other stuff, you're like, oh my God, it's just like it really was like the dream team. So
yeah, because music for me in games is also very important.
yeah,
And if anything had a really good soundtrack, it was Chrono Trigger.
yes,
Yeah, like
phenomenal.
like all the tracks you know from heart. Like every time you hear like the Tree for Nose, you're like, oh, it's that song.
Yep. They're all just, yeah, they're all amazing songs and they're all instantly recognizable. It's just, oh, so good.
Yes. Hmm.
So yeah, so that's why I thought also like growing up, I'm like, there's something to this Japan thing, right? And then, so you get that interest, and then yeah, so I had the opportunity to go, and so I would encourage anyone too, if you have the opportunity, whether it's like study abroad or just going for a short time, whether it's just 6 months, a year, even just kind of immerse yourself in it because it's just so cool. It's just such an amazing place to be, and yeah, just had so much fun doing it.
Yeah, it seems like a very beautiful country.
Absolutely. And so I will say living there, yeah, every country has its own issues. So like, part of it, you get like a little bit of the rose-colored glasses, right? To say like, oh, this is everything is amazing and beautiful. It's like, well, it's got its little issues too, but like they're not terrible. So, and one of my friends too was like, oh yeah, Japan's a great place to visit. Like I think yeah, one of the guys that I knew when I was there, he's like, he lived there. He didn't have as good of an experience living. Like the living stuff was like for him was kind of the issue. But being American, it's just like, oh yeah, we have so much more. Gosh, I can't even tell you. Like, just so much. Obviously, like more. We call it more freedoms or whatever, but just like there's a lot more simple things that you can do in the US that just like for some reason you can't in Japan. And it's just like
Well, I'm actually not American myself. I'm actually from
I
the
know
Netherlands. Yeah,
that's what I heard. Yeah. So from
yeah.
another so you'll
But
get a little bit of culture shock too, I'm sure. But yeah.
I did actually visit America twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's when I met my wife, I met her in Final Fantasy XIV, back in the beginning of ARR, beginning of Heavensward, I think, somewhere like there.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were friends at first, and she came to visit here on vacation. And then the following year, when she came, I went to her in America, and I was like, "What is this? Why is everything so big?" Like in the
Yes.
Netherlands, everything is like very small, and like then you come to America, and then you're like, "What is this? Like, what is this place?"
That's what I keep hearing too, is that there's just it's massive, just huge
Yes.
by comparison. And that was the hardest thing too, is just the space, right? Yeah, I think for Americans, for those listening, Americans go into like something like Japan, it's crowded, it's cramped by comparison, right? Because America, we're very spread out. And the way, having lived there and trying to understand kind of like the demographics and everything, it's like imagine for those that are Americans maybe understand a little bit better as far as like it's America versus Japan is 1/10 the size, but only half the population. So take half the population of the US and cram them into 1/10 the space, which is about in the US the equivalent of the size of like California. So take all of America, cut it out, and just have only California and put half of the US in there. Yeah, it's crowded.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine.
So for those that think about the size of the country, they give you an idea and indication. So and the US is just there's so many people that say like, oh, Americans don't travel. It's like, well, Americans travel. They just travel within the US because it's the size of
Yeah,
like 4 or 5 other countries.
yeah, like taking 2 hours to go to work.
Some people, I had a buddy like and actually a Japanese guy that came to the US as part of their company, and he would commute, over an hour to get to work every day.
Yeah, that's crazy for us.
Yeah. And I'm like, and I lived close, and it was still like a 15-minute drive. Like, not walk, not bus, train, whatever. It was like, car driving 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just like, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, yeah. I heard many stories from my American wife.
Perfect. But great. So yeah, so thinking more on the game side of it, and as far as using kind of the passion for the games, right? I wanted to get back to this kind of idea of how we can use our passion for video games to really, push us forward. And so and then, again with I think I wanted to ask a little bit more on like the woodworking side of it, as far
Hmm.
as like, what is it about? Yeah, so you mentioned as far as like being in the clinic and just having that kind of, maybe limited options.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I guess, getting out of the clinic, or is it just like is it just because like, oh, I had limited options? Is like, but once you got out, you could have done other things. What was it about the woodworking that really like drew you to keep doing it? I guess is the question.
Well, it's because because video games has always been something important to me ever since I was a kid. Like it always helped me through stuff. Like it always helped me be happy, and like video games always been a thing for me. So when I started doing the woodworking thing, I was kind of like, wow, this is actually something that I really enjoy doing because it has to do with video games. And that's kind of why I continued doing it because it just became a passion and it became uh, like something I could really get lost in. Like if I'm in my shed doing woodworking, it's like, oh, it's that time already? That's crazy. So it's just something that just really made me happy and really made me like passionate about it. And I was like, man, I want to kind of keep doing this because it's a lot of fun to do. And especially when I made my first thing and I showed pictures to people and they were like, whoa, that's crazy and it looks so cool. That just kind of like sparked my interest to just keep doing it.
That's fantastic. So it sounds like, yeah, you're getting in the, I think I've heard it called like the flow state is what where time just kind of flies and you're just so focused. And we do
Yeah.
that a lot in video games, and it's great to have that with other, kind of passions too, where it's just like, yeah, you look at the time and you're like, how is it 3 a.m. already? Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think that for me was just like such an amazing thing to have, just something I could get lost in and just kept doing and create something with my hands, which I like to do to begin with. And if I can do that with passion for video games, well, I think I just found the perfect job.
perfect. Yeah, that's fantastic. So being
Yeah,
able to and being able to use your hand, I know like that's some of the gaming skills, right, that transfer into real life skills. And I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that, being able to work with your hands is definitely one of them, right? That kind of hand-eye coordination. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
so it has, and that's why I was going to ask, like, have you found it easier to do, other things as a result of being able to play video games?
Well, I know that my reaction time has gotten much better since I've been playing video games.
Mhm.
Um, but also, I come from a family of gamers. Like my dad's a gamer. My
Okay.
dad's like 65 and he still plays PS5 God of War.
Nice.
Yeah. But like my entire family is like gamers, so it's also I feel like very connecting. Like it helps you make friends. It helps you find love. Like it does so much things for people.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and I wanted to hear a little bit more about the that story, if you wouldn't mind, as far as like, how you met your wife through gaming, right? Through Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
sure.
XIV. So I guess, what happened? Like, how did that start and how did that evolve?
Well, it all started with the ring. No, I'm kidding. Uh, no, no. So what happened was I was playing 14 with a friend of mine, and he found like a guild, it's called a free company of 14, but he found like this guild, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they're nice people. Let's join." I was like, "Okay, sure." And there I met my now wife, who was someone that was very friendly, always there, helping with quests and with dungeons and stuff, and we just became very close, and we were friends for a very long time at first, and she wanted to go on vacation, and as a joke I was like, well, why don't you come on vacation here in the Netherlands? And she was like, okay, and then she just came. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is really happening. And once she was here, we were just, yeah, we kind of fell in love, and we started like being like, I want to see you more. So I went to America all by myself, which was very scary, but a very cool experience. And I stayed with her in a hotel, and she showed me America. And once I left, she was like, yeah, I want to be with him. So she left America behind and moved here to the Netherlands to be with me.
Wow. That's fantastic. And all through Final Fantasy 14.
Yep, all through
Another
Final
thing.
Fantasy 14, and we still play together to this day.
And we still play. Nice.
Yeah, she's actually playing right now.
Perfect. I love that. And that's what just yeah, the power of gaming just even through connection, right? And that's what I love about gaming too, is just all the different ways that it just makes our lives better, right? And I like to say it's not a lot of people use it for that kind of entertainment and escapism because
Hmm.
they're stressed out in their daily lives, but there's so much more to it, right? Being able to
Oh
immerse
yeah.
yourself in that. And I love the connection side of it too. Just especially easily seen, I think, through the MMOs like Final Fantasy XIV, where you can have those connections with people and learn. And I love that you develop a romance and a love through people through Final Fantasy XIV. I even like it through single player games, right? And we talk about Final Fantasy, 4, 6, 7, Chrono Trigger. It's like we have these shared experiences because we've played the same game, so we can relate in those kind of ways. Be like, this is what I loved about this. This is what I loved about this. Oh, how did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
handle that? How did you handle, and it's just you make friends just having even just played the same game, not even playing necessarily together, but just having that shared experience is just so huge.
Yeah, it's especially like if you like what you said, like when you talk about the single player experiences, like Seven, for example, we're like, oh yeah, I remember that moment. Like, oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And like, and the funny thing is what you say with connection about friends. When we got married, our my best man actually came from New Zealand, who I also met in Final Fantasy 14.
Wow.
And my wife's maid of honor also was from Final Fantasy 14, who came from Las Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah,
So is everybody from the guild. That's even cooler. That's yeah.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
not even just the two of you, just like the,
yeah,
the whole guild came out to join you.
yeah, yeah, which is insane.
That's awesome. And then I'm gonna guess, but hopefully obvious maybe, but yeah. So I'm guessing you not only got married, but you also got married in 14
Yes,
because
we
that is a
also
thing
got
you can
married in
do in that
14.
game. I know.
Yeah, yeah. Our entire wedding was also 14 themed.
Nice.
Like we had a 14 wedding cake. There was 14 music playing on the wedding. So
That's
every,
awesome.
yeah,
That's
everything was 14 themed.
gosh, that would have been fun. Yeah, I think 14, I think it was in the I'll say when I got married it was in the in-between years after 1.0 closed down, so before ARR.
Yeah, yeah.
So 14 wasn't really a big thing like when I got married. But yeah, we had a Chrono Trigger themed wedding cake.
Oh, that is really cool.
So that was fun. And then we had that and Legend of Zelda music playing. And
Okay.
I hired like a harp player, a harpist, I guess you call it, and playing like the Zelda theme on the like literally on the harp. And I was like, that's cool as hell.
That is actually really cool.
So yeah, so sharing this passion for video games is just so much fun and so cool. So that's and I love connecting with other people that enjoy that same kind of thing. So that's so amazing, and kudos to you for having a Final Fantasy 14 wedding theme and finding the love of your life through Final Fantasy 14. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, and I want to be respectful of time. So we'll like to keep these episodes, kind of short and sweet, but definitely wanted to hear a little bit more. And as far as like the gaming passion and turning this kind of passion into something that you can do, uh, whether it is, for a living, for an income, is there anything else that you would recommend or anything else you would say to people looking to do the same?
I would definitely say if you have something that you have a passion for when it comes to gaming and you enjoy it, absolutely do it. Don't even hesitate, just do it.
Oh,
Because you will regret it if you don't.
I love
Hi,
that.
buddy.
I love
Yeah,
the
sorry. Cat.
Yeah, for those that can't see, we have
Hi.
the cat photo bomb. I love it.
Yeah.
I have a black cat myself somewhere around here too. So too
His
fun.
uh, his name is actually Graha.
His name's what?
His name is Graha
Gra
from Final
Graha,
Fantasy 14.
nice for
Yeah, yeah.
14. That's fantastic. And it's funny because my black cat is named Edge, who was the
Okay.
ninja character in Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, okay.
So
Buddy, you're kind of in the way. Come on. Come on.
too fun. Oh, this has been so much fun to connect, Masao. So thank you so much for this. And I think people might be interested to check out more about your woodworking stuff. So I guess where can people find you? And you said you have commissions that you're willing to do, or you're open to commissions, I guess I should say.
Yeah,
So where
yeah.
can people find you and your woodworking?
Well, on Twitch, you can find me on twitch.com/adorkable channel. Let me just make sure I say that right before I say something and people are like, "Where are you?"
Yeah. And don't
Before I
worry,
say
guys,
it wrong.
we'll have the links for you in the description as well, so you can click on that. You can find it really easily.
Yeah, it's twitch.com/adorkable channel. And
Perfect.
it's ADORK uh ABLE. So like adorkable. Yeah, okay.
Adorable. So it's
Yeah.
not adorable, it's adorkable. I love
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Fantastic play on words. So very cool. So guys, definitely check out the link in the description so you can check out Adorkable by Masao, who does amazing anime and video game theme woodworking commissions. So definitely check him out. And if you guys are interested in how you can really turn this passion for video games into your own business, into your own career, or just looking to use your skills, like I did as far as, even just moving up the corporate ladder but using your video game skills and knowledge, you can definitely check me out, dragonmorexp.com. So, guys, thank you so much. And before we go, I think I can guess, but I do ask everyone, Masao, on this podcast. The very last question is, what is your favorite video game?
That would be Final Fantasy VII.
Yep. And I wasn't 100% sure because it could have been 7 or 14. I was like, all right, which one's he going to say? But
It's close. It's close, but
it's
no,
close.
seven is definitely my
But
favorite.
7, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely understand. So guys, this has been fantastic. Thank you guys for listening to Game Your Future podcast. This has been Masao with his amazing woodworking commissions he does with video games. So absolutely love it. So guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.